Hello and welcome to the Snap Grand Prix. I'm so excited that all of you have joined me here, and I want to take a few minutes here just to talk about the whole round procedure. The whole tournament procedure. We're going to start with how to register. We're going to talk about Discord names. We're going to talk about how to submit deck lists. We're going to talk about the whole round procedure. I've got a breakdown here, and I want to get into it. Make sure that you do not receive any game losses just because you didn't know some of this information. So the first piece here is we're going to start over on Discord. So we pop over in there and you'll see where we are going to actually find the event itself. So I can find it here in the announcements page. You'll see the Snap Grand Prix here. This is the one that you're looking for. We can go ahead and click that link, go ahead and jump over there, and then we're going to start our registration process. So if you do not have a Top Deck account, whenever you click the register button, it'll ask you to create your Top Deck account. I already have one, so if you have one as well, you just click the register now button, boom, and that's it. You are now registered for the event. Next thing I want to talk about is how to add your Snap or your Discord name to your Top Deck account. This is very important because this is how your opponents are going to find you on the Discord and allow you to actually play your matches. So we're going to go into our name in the top right corner here, go into settings, and then you'll see here, whenever you create an account, you can actually make your account name here. I have Chad Tompkins. You could make that Gunny T, right? That would be my Discord name. If you haven't, that's fine. But make sure that this name here is something that you want visible publicly. It won't be seen everywhere, but there are some locations where it can be seen. Again, that could just be your Discord. If you haven't done that, you can easily just right here add in your Discord name. Do @GunnyT, and that is what will pop up for your opponent when it shows who they're playing, and that will allow them to message you on the Discord, the Snap Judgments League Discord, and schedule your game between each other. Simply just add in your name there and click Save Changes. After that, the next most important step is that we're going to submit a deck list. I need to maintain legitimacy in this event because it's a paid, money is going to be coming from it, and I want to make sure that there's no kind of poor sportsmanship coming from somebody editing their deck to maybe counter your deck. If they had a friend that played against you the round previously and messaged them, hey, what were they playing? They could easily swap decks to make sure they beat you, and I want to make sure that we're not doing that. How we're going to do that is by submitting a deck list. And how we do that is we go into My Events. Since I just registered for the Snap Grand Prix, you can see I have this posted up here, and there's a Submit Deck List button. What some of you have done in the past in some of my other events is you copied your deck list straight from the Marvel Caps Snap client and entered that here. Unfortunately, that feature doesn't work for us. We're going to have to use an outside URL, and I'll show you how to do that. So we pull up our Snap client. I can easily click my copy button like you would normally do, but instead of entering that into Top Deck, what I need to do is then find an outside deck builder, such as Marvel Snap Zone. So we can take that code that I just had there, I can enter it in here, click the create button, it'll now populate down into the bottom, and I have created my deck. Once I save that, it will now open up a web page for me that will give me a URL. That's the important part here. I can't click the copy button like you would for copying it into the client. I need to make sure I take this URL from this page exactly, and now take that over into Top Deck, enter it here. Once I have done that, that allows me on the back-end management side to see your deck list, and I'll be doing some deck checks throughout the event to make sure we're maintaining legitimacy. And on day 2 for the top cut, all these deck lists are going to be visible to all of the players in the single elimination tournament. So we're going to make sure that we have the ability to hide our deck lists, make sure those rogue decks with those secret cards that are going to give you some spicy tech remain remain hidden. But then day 2 for the top cut, we are going to be able to see all of those deck lists. And you need to make sure you're playing the same deck throughout the entire event with no changes whatsoever. All right, so my deck list has been created. Another thing here is if you decide to change your deck last minute, you can absolutely do that as long as it is before the event starts. You will be able to click Submit Deck List, and I can go through the same process and just enter my deck list here. I will be reviewing these, so if anybody messes it up, I should be able to get to you beforehand, but this is going to be very, very important. I will be giving out match losses for anyone who does not have a submitted deck list. I don't really have a way around that. I need to be able to, penalize it somewhere, and that's what I'm going to do. Round 1, if you don't have a submitted deck list, I'm going to give you a match loss. Your opponent will win. You could take that time during when that match would be and then submit a deck list for yourself. Next thing here is I'm going to actually close this down for a second. I'm going to start the event so I can show you how we're going to find our opponents. All right, I'm in the Snap Judgments League Discord, and now I have posted the round 1 pairing. You'll be able to find that by scrolling down here, finding the Snap GP announcements button, and then clicking on this link right here. So this is after the tournament has begun. I will see that this is my tournament link. I see all the standings of all the players in the entire event, but what I'm primarily concerned with is the current round. So I click on current round. I find that I am playing against Kazuma here, and I will find them. Just easily copy that name. All right, copy, and then I'm going to take this information here into matchmaking right underneath the Snap GP announcement, and I see a forum post here. So Models has done a great job. He's outlined what it should look like here. So it's me versus opponent. Hi, opponent. This is where you're at. And then we're going to be able to play. So I'll make my new post. Paste. Oh, there we go. Sorry here. Bear with me. All right. Gunny T versus Kazuma. And now I need to make sure that I tag them in this post, in the body of the post. That is what's going to actually allow them to see it. So I'll post it in here. Hello at Kazuma. It won't pop here like it does for normal locations. We'll talk about that in a second. Ready for round 1. And then I'm also going to tag it here. I want to tag for all these posts. That way we can keep track of them. This is round 1, and I make my post. All right, so I can see here, this is what I was talking about. So you know if it tagged your opponent, if this area right here is highlighted. I can see that it didn't actually highlight Kazuma. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add Kazuma right there. And now whenever I post that, see how it's highlighted like this? I can go ahead and repost that. And now it's going to tag Kazuma and let him know that I'm talking here. The reason why we're doing it in forum posts is if I try to do this in an open chat, this would just get completely jammed with all of the people trying to schedule their matches. So Kazuma would reply here, or Kazuma could have made this post. We'll talk, and he'll say like, hey, I'm ready to go. And then you'll go and make your friendly battle, give him the code in here, talk about it. Hey, good luck, all that stuff. This is what we'll do for each round. Now, what's important here is that we have to keep on a very strict timeline. I'm going to give players 10 minutes to schedule their round. If Kazuma doesn't get back to me in 10 minutes, he'll reach out to me as the judge or one of my other moderator staff as a judge and let me know that his opponent hasn't reached out to him, and they're going to receive a match loss if they're 10 minutes late to a round. But this forum post, this should absolutely help out with this, and you're going to be able to do this. We've had very good success with it for the Snap Judgments League, for all of my King of the Hill events, and some of the Fight Club stuff. So this is a really great way to do this, and it will work out very, very well. So we've played our round. It's gone really well. Next, we need to talk about how to report our round. So I'm going to go back into Top Deck afterwards, and I'll just simply click whoever won. So in this case, let's just say Kazuma did a really awesome job, countered my deck, and took all of my cubes without me winning a single game. That's great. Click who won there, and then just report round. And that is all I have to do. It's showing here player 1, which is Kazuma won, then player 2 or a draw. So those are those 3 numbers mean. Afterwards, Kazuma, I need him to go in and report this round as well. On the management side of it, it shows different colors, like a light blue if only one player has submitted the like who won, and it is a darker blue color if both players submit. And it also doesn't force me to click more buttons, so it's very, very helpful. That being said, if the 45 minutes finishes and neither player has submitted a winner, I don't have time to track everybody down. I'm going to give that match a draw. If one player has submitted, then I'm going to take whatever player has said that. Now, going back for a second on those colors, if I clicked that Kazuma won and Kazuma clicked on me that won, or there's some kind of dispute because like maybe somebody's lying, we haven't had anybody lie yet. What happens is somebody clicks the wrong button. It highlights in red for me, and simply it's really easy for me to just track down one of those players. Hey, who won your game? Oh, I'm sorry, I misclicked or something. But that's also a way to make sure that your opponent isn't lying. And you know, if I had Kazuma win that game, but I clicked on the button that said I won, and then obviously Kazuma clicks that he won, it would dispute, and then we would have a way to figure out what's going on. On that piece, it's very important to just take a screenshot, especially if you've won. Take a screenshot of the end of the game. That way, if we have a dispute between two players, you can easily prove that you won that match. All right, and that's really it. After we've done those few pieces, that's the round. And then we're just going to repeat that several times. I'm expecting a whole lot of players in this event. So we're looking at upwards of 8 rounds of Swiss. So that same process I just talked about, we're going to do 8 times in a row. And then we're going to finish day 1. Next day, it's going to be pretty much the same process, except we're going to go through single elimination, which just means we're going to have a giant bracket. It's going to be maybe top 16, top 32. And then if a player loses, they're not going to have rounds to play after that. Remember that day 1 is Swiss. So you're going to be playing for all of those rounds. No matter what, you'll have an opponent unless you drop out of it. Please let me know if you do drop out, so that way I don't pair somebody up with a player who just isn't there. That's really all I got. Thank you again so much for joining us here in this first Snap Grand Prix. Thanks for Pursuit Gaming for joining us as well and hosting this thing. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait for it. I will see all of you there. Please follow these guidelines to the T. That's going to make it super easy for me and make sure that you do not receive any match losses that could just be inadvertently done. I don't want any of you to feel like you got a match loss because you didn't know how to do something. That's why I made this video. So again, until that tournament, good luck. Whenever you're there, good luck. If you have any questions, please reach out to me or my staff, and we will help you through any of these problems. That's it. See you later.